Strat-O-Matic Excel Carryover League. Brought to you by the Shrimp Troll.
(1973 to 1976). Welcome back, baseball fans. Opening day 2025 is here. Game, look at this. Last time we saw that in the World Series, it was like game 665 or something like that. Game 1 of the 2025 season, the defending champion Oakland A's at home in the Coliseum against American League North division winner, the Detroit Tigers. And on opening day in Oakland, it is a special matchup. Oakland is going to go with Catfish Hunter, their ace, Cy Young winner a year ago. Could have been the league MVP. He was like 12-1 at one point. And Detroit, well, they switched it up. They were going to go Mickey Lolich, and then Mickey said, you know what, kid? Let's do something. Do something special today. So Mickey deferred to game 2. We got the bird, Mark Fidrich, is making an opening day start for the Tigers, something he wouldn't have done in 76. Fidrich will read his numbers again: 19-9, 2.34 ERA, and 250 innings in the magical season of 1976. One of the best stories. That story just ran completely over that season because the season was kind of blah otherwise. Yankees and the Reds ran away with their divisions, and the World Series was a pretty dull Cincinnati sweep. Stats were down in the 76. Wasn't a really good year. Anyway, Oakland, Catfish Hunter, 25-game winner in 74. This is a new card for him. He was in his 72 card. 2.49 ERA and 318 innings. Detroit at Oakland. We're just going to get right into this. We're not going to do all that opening day nonsense. You guys don't need that bunting and all that nonsense. We're just going to get right into the game. Spinning the tumblers, though. Randomizing that. You notice also that the colors are now green. If you win the World Series, folks, you get to decorate the scoreboard. And that's what we're going to have to look at this year, folks, until somebody knocks Oakland off. We could be here till the year 2030, and we'll be looking at this doofy green and yellow board. Anyway, leading off for the Tigers, Ron LaFleur. 1-8 is a base hit for Ron, a double-A stealer. Zero-arm Gene Tennis. Let's get started. Let's try a stolen base. And he's in there on an 11. The aggressive Tigers, underdogs, by a big margin. As they're getting older and older and older, they need some young blood like Fidrich and LaFleur to produce. Batting seconds, Dick McAuliffe. 2-7's a walk. 2 on for number 3 hitter Jim Northrup. 67, single 1 to 19. That's a base hit. You know, if that's the 72 Catfish Hunter, that's like single 1 to 2 line out. Now it's single 1 to 19. Maybe they're not so invincible. Bases loaded, nobody out for the dangerous Willie Horton. 4-10, he lines to first. Norm Cash. 66 off Hunter, double 1-8. It's a 2-run single for 38-year-old Norm Cash. Still delivering. Runners on the corners for Bill Freehan. 67, double 111, a double. It's 1968 in the first inning at least for your Tigers. Second and third, 1 out. Catfish Hunter had a little bit too much champagne in the offseason, it looks like. Tom Verizor. 3-6. Let's take a look at a card. Folks, this Detroit team, they were in the World Series a couple years ago. Don't forget that. They played the Pirates in the World Series. It should have been Baltimore and Pittsburgh, but the Tigers knocked Baltimore out. Tigers played for and lost the World Series, and this guy, Tom Verizor, was in it as the shortstop because of all this power in a short sample versus righties. 3-6 is gone, and they haven't gotten off the BART yet in Oakland. They had a breakdown in Richmond or in Pleasanton or something like that. So they haven't gotten all the spectators into the stadium yet, and it's already 6-0. Tough day for the scalpers. Still just one out. Mickey Stanley. 65 off Hunter. Homer 1 fly ball. Well, that's going to be a fly ball. That's typical Catfish. And number 9 hitter Dave Chalk. 57, a strikeout. And oh boy, Catfish Hunter. The grand equalizer. So you trying to defend your Cy Young, giving up 6 runs in the first inning is not going to help that cause at all. It's going to take a while to get that earned run average down to something reasonable. All right, leading off your Oakland A's against the young Mark Fidrich, giving a 6-run lead for Pete's sakes. Here's Bert Campaneris. 59 off Bird. It's a grounder to second. If we get a lot of ground ball outs, that would mean that Fidrich is on his game. Claudell Washington, 1-7, double 1-9 is a base hit. He's an ace stealer, but down 6 will stay at first. Joe Rudy, 2-11 is a ground ball fielder's choice. He legs it out to first, and with 2 outs, here's Reggie Jackson. 62, a comebacker to the mound, and the Bird talks to the ball. We're tossing it to first. Top of 2. It's Ron LaFleur. 4-12, grounds the mound. Dick McAuliffe, 43, left X, out in left field. It's Joe Rudy. A 1-5 now. Was a 1-4. And Jim Northrup. 67 for Northrup. It's that single 1-19 again. That's another base hit. Willie Horton, 48, finds the second base. Sal Bando leading off in the bottom of the half for the second. He strikes out. Steve Olivares grounds to third. And Gene Tennis, 2-5, grounds to third. Top of the third, Norm Cash. 4-11, skies the right X. Reggie's out there. He's a 2-9 in right field. Still very good. Makes the catch. Bill Freehand, 67, double 1-11 on a 6-7 on Hunter. Are we sure we took the best Hunter card? We didn't like the 73 card at all. So yeah, 74 is going to be the best of the years. Or you could argue the year with the Yankees. First year with the Yankees was pretty darn good. Tom Verizon, 1-11, fly ball to left. Mickey Stanley, 4-10, pops to first. Bottom of the third, it's Rusty Torres, 4-4. Homer 1-14 off of the Bird, and he misses it on a 19. So, wind helped the Bird there. Dick Green, 2-8, is a double 1-13, 2-base hit. Bert Campaneris, 2-7, is a base hit in the center. Green holds at third. Speed at first. Claudell, you're going to play back and hold. Hope for a double play. 55, short X. This is where defense has hurt the Tigers in the past at shortstop because they don't have Ed Brinkman anymore. He's a 3-44 is Verizon. And it's single dot right there. Don't have to go any further. It's single dot off the range. And Oakland has a run. Runners on the corners, 1 out. Joe Rudy has to bring the infield up. He's an A bunter. 58, pops to short. And with 2 outs, Reggie, 65, flies to left. So a missed home run opportunity. Then Fidrich settles down and allows 1 more run at 6-1. In the 4th, Dave Chalk, 6'11". Short X, Campaneris, 2-27 is short. Makes the play. Ron LaFleur, 48, lines a second. Dick McAuliffe, 48, pops to short. Bottom of the 4th. Sal Bando, 1-6 for Sal. Homer, 1-13, 1-12, and it's gone on a 5. 6-2, Oakland creeping back. Steve Olivares, 38, flies to center. Gene Tennis, 65, flies to right, and with 2 outs, Rusty Torres, 48, second X on the Fidrich card. Nicely placed roll. McAuliffe's a 2-13, and he surrenders a single on his range. So spotty defense for the Tigers. They're used to that long grass in the Tiger infield. Not so much here in Oakland. And now Dick Green, who doubled his first at bat. 5'10", catcher's X. Free hands of 4E9. And the inning's over. We go to the 5th. It is Jim Northrup. 66 off Catfish, double 1-8, base hit. If the rest of the American League is watching, they are completely intrigued. Catfish Hunter is the linchpin of that Oakland team. If he is taking a step down in performance, open that door to the World Series in the American League suddenly. They need Hunter to be dominant, not just top of the rotation stuff. He's got to be the dominant Hunter he's been in the past. We got Willie Horton. 47 is a K. Norm Cash, 58, flies to right. And Bill Freehand, 33, grounds to third. Bottom of the 5th. Let's pause a moment for station identification.
This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel.
Este es el canal de videos de camaroneros.
Alrighty, bottom of the 5th. Oakland trying to make a comeback. If they have individual runs the last 2 frames. Back up top to Burkamp and Harris. 34 grounds are short. Fitterich is a starter 9. Indicative of overwork, which would haunt his development in a very short career, unfortunately. And opening day, with John Hiller on this team, trying to get a win for their fans, I don't think Fitterich is going to have to struggle through the 9th. Claudel Washington, 49, double 1, base hit. Ace dealer being held. Joe Rudy, 3-6 is a K, and with 2 outs, Reggie, 1-4, just misses the homer and flies to right field. Into the 6th. Catfish Hunter's a starter 8. Tom Verizor, 3-6, Tom Verizor Day! It's Tom Verizor floppy hat day here in Oakland, even though he doesn't play for Oakland. That is gone. The folks from Detroit who flew out to the West Coast for some sunshine and follow their beloved Tigers are treated to Tom Verizor Day. Another home run. It is 7-2. Catfish Hunter is just shaking his shoulders. Doesn't know what to make of this day. Mickey Stanley, 1-8, triple 1-5 is a base hit. Dave Chalk, number 9 hitter, 4-4, center X. Torres in center's good. He's a 2E15 in center field. Makes the catch. Ron LaFleur, 57's a K. And McAuliffe, 68, second X. Dick Green's a 2E8 at second base. Makes the play. Hunter has put 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11 men on base in 6 innings. It is the first game of the series. We like to ride our starters a little bit longer if we can, so as not to tax the bullpens early in a 5-game set, best of 5. 7-2, bottom of the 6th, it's Sal Bando. 33, pops to third. Also, folks, once this game is over, we will show you the results of the rest of the series. It's a best of 5. Steve Oliveris, 48, second X. Again, McAuliffe's a 2E13. Makes the play. And Gene Tennis, 2-3, grounds to short. We go to the 7th. Jim Northrup, 53, rolls to first. Norm Cash, 58, flies to right. And that was and here is Norm Cash. 67, single 1-19, he gets it. And Bill Freehand, 64. Bill Freehand, 64 off the Hunter card is gone. We thought he'd make it through 7 innings, but it's just getting worse and worse. And yeah, that's going to do it. My goodness, Catfish Hunter, after just 6 2/3, one of the worst starts in the last 3 years for him. A rocky first inning, you have to pitch through that. You have to give your team some innings. But then faltering again with 3 or more runs in a 9-2 drubbing. And we'll get into a really good bullpen of Oakland. Matter of fact, we're going to introduce a new player to them. Dave Tomlin, career National Leaguer, I believe, pitched for San Diego and Cincinnati. Oakland made a trade with the Padres, giving them some nice draft capital, to get Dave Tomlin to be the new lefty setup guy to Raleigh Fingers, with previous lefty setup guy Dave Hamilton moving into the rotation. So you can see, I mean, Oakland's had to make some concessions. When you draft 32, you're not going to be able to retool as easy in defending your crown. As a matter of fact, I haven't had a repeat champion in Strat ever for that very reason. So Oakland's got its work cut out for them. Dave Tomlin comes on in the 7th. He'll face the dangerous Tom Verizor, who has no power against lefties, to the dismay of Tiger fans hoping for a third. 58 flies to center, and that's the end of the inning. 9-2 Oakland. Disappointing opener. Well, for the fans in Oakland, but the rest of the American League, they are delighted. We have, let's see, I gotta launch the music. We're listening to Shuggy Otis. And this is a live recording for Shuggy. See if I can dial this one up for you, if possible, on the spots, the Spotted Leopard channel, whatever it's called. I can't remember the name of it. We're trying, oh, while that's doing that, we'll, yeah, it's dialing this in, if it can. Something went wrong. Yeah, often does. Yeah, where in the heck are we? And there we are. There's old Shuggy right there. Let's go take a look at the picture here. Live in Williamsburg back in 2014. Williamsburg, Brooklyn, New York area. Green Park or Greenpoint or whatever the heck it's called. I can't remember. Inspiration, information, out of my head, island letter, sweet thing, of course, strawberry letters on here somewhere. Yep, strawberry letter, ice cold daydream. Live performance for Shuggy coming out of retirement, you could say. I think he was on the, was it Conan's show or whatever Letterman's show became in New York at the time. Anyway, back to the game. Bottom of the 7th. You get a lot of ceremony opening day, folks. Get a little sentimental. So, opening day. Fitterich. He's given up 2 runs in 6 frames. We'll let him continue here. Rusty Torres. 52, flies to center. Dick Green, 48, walks. Don't like to see that, as Fitterich was very good control. Campanera, 68, pops to second. Claudel Washington, 6'10", third X. And this is where Dave Chalk comes in handy, a 1E12 third baseman. Makes the play. I think we might just give Fitterich the rest of the afternoon off. Rest that young shoulder. Top of the 8th, Dave Tomlin continues. It's Mickey Stanley. 32, hit by the pitch. Dave Chalk, 56, short X. Campanera, so 2E27 at short. Surrenders a single. What is going on with Oakland today, folks? They have a hangover. It's clear. Ron LaFleur, 66 off of Tomlin. Double 1-3 is a double. It is 10-2 Tigers. Dick McAuliffe, 67, single 1-18, and he gets the 18. Runners on the corners. There's nobody out. Boo Birds coming back, coming down, raining down on their champs. They're running down on Dave Tomlin, who's a new guy. So they're booing the new guy, not the guys who have those World Series rings. Jim Northrup, 65. That's a double to center field, and that is not how to make good with your new teammates. We're going to call that an inning for this guy. So Dave Tomlin gets lit up like a Christmas tree. Got the final out in 7th. Can't get anybody out in the 8th. You're down by 11, and you got to use your bullpen to get the final 6 outs, and a laugher. So they'll have Jim Todd. 1975 Jim Todd was very good. 8-3, 2.29 ERA. Probably Oakland's best pitcher in 75, which is amazing to say. Wasn't part of the dynasty years. He'll come on in the 8th and face number 4 hitter Willie Horton. With a runner at second, nobody out. 56 flies to left. Norm Cash, 39, single 1 of 14, gets it on the corners for Bill Freehand, 1-4, grounds it short. 13-2, bottom of the 8th, and Fitters has called it a day. It's time to get some new guys into the game for Detroit. We're going to begin with, here's an interesting pick. We're going to go Jerry Johnson, who is the worst pitcher on this team. He's what we put the long man. Top 4 starters, then the 5th guy is your long man. Jerry Johnson, they were looking for a righty who gets lefties out. Jerry's, this last year in 74, 2-1 with a 480 earned run average. However, this is a case where you just have to look at the strat card and go, I can manage this. He's really good against lefties, just singles, some walks, under control, and you just don't want to have him get lit up by righties too terribly much. So, with an 11-run lead, he's got some leeway here. Jerry Johnson will come on in the 8th, and he'll face Joe Rudy. 66, well, that's going to reach with a double. Now, here you have a lefty, Reggie. And Reggie grounds to short. Now, another righty, Bando. 46, but he strikes him out. A lot of strikeouts on Jerry's card against righties. That's also good. And Steve Olivares, 411. Rolls over to first. Nice inning for Jerry Johnson. Oakland in the 9th is going to have Bob Locker go out there, so as they don't want to pile up innings on any particular reliever. Bob Locker was very effective for Oakland in the 72 series. With 71 and 72 cards with Oakland, he was very good. He went to the Cubs in 73. 10-6, 255 ERA, 106 innings, but Oakland held on to him for 1 more year. Now 2 more years. So Bob Locker comes on in the 9th inning. He'll face Tom Verizon. 58 is a strikeout. Mickey Stanley, 2-9, flies to center. And Dave Chalk, 47, is base hit. Back up top to the floor. He's 2 for 5 today. 49, another single. 2 on, 2 outs for Dick McAuliffe, who rolls to third base. Bottom of the 9th. I think they're going to leave Jerry Johnson in there because he's their long guy. It's nice to get this guy innings, to get his quota, innings pitch quota up there. You like him to play in not very meaningful situations, such as an 11-run lead or deficit, so that we can keep John Hiller and Bob Veal and Oscar Zamora fresh, because those 3 guys are really going to be important to Detroit's success this year. Gene Tennis, 44, second X. Second baseman, Dick McCall's at 2E13, makes the play. Rusty Torres, batting for Rusty Torres, they want to get a right-handed bat in there. They're going to have Phil Garner. Newest Oakland A, Phil Garner, with his 1975 card, will bat. 3-6 is a grounder to short. And with 2 outs, it's Dick Green. 1-5, base hit. Back up top to Bert Campaneris. 6-11, third X. Dave Chalk's a 1E12. Great defense there. Almost makes an error. Got to type in the correct D rating. And he makes the play. Opening day is over in Oakland. The final score of the Tigers, 13. Oakland 2. Fitterich gets the win. Catfish Hunter gets the loss. We'll be back with the results of this series, so stay tuned. All right, baseball fans, here is the box score of Game 1, opening day that you just saw. The Tigers thumping the Oakland A's 13-2. For Catfish Hunter, 6 2/3, 12 hits, 9 runs, walking 3 Ks. Dave Tomlin also was bad. And the Bird, Fitterich, 7 innings, 7 hits, a couple runs, a walk and 2 Ks. Nice debut for Mark Fitterich. Will it translate to the Tigers going back to the playoffs again? We're not sure, but it's a fun look for the Tigers, particularly on opening day, to be spoiler and ruin the defending champions' beginning. Game 2 in Oakland, and we have what you can call a correction. Oakland wins 9-2, and now the foot has a different shoe on it than it had earlier, because now Mickey Lolich steps into it. 6 innings, 9 hits, 9 runs, just 4 are earned because of some judicious errors by McAuliffe, by Verizon. He surrendered homers to Sal Bando, to Darren Johnson, to Phil Garner, a triple to Duffy Dyer. Well, there's another triple in this series somewhere. Kenny Holtzman was fine. 7 innings, 8 hits, 2 runs, and 1 earned, no walks. Tigers are not walking the game. That's something they got to correct. A split. Pretty lackluster, lopsided games, but it's a split's a split. Let's go to Detroit for Game 3. Now, Game 3 for the Tigers. Oakland brought in with a 76 card, one of his best years. Detroit's got Gary Gentry. You might remember Gary from the 69 Miracle Mets. The Tigers have his 73 card. He's a starter 6. You got to watch him carefully. He's good. He's a little bit better than decent. He's somewhere between decent and good, but not very good, I guess. And in this game, early on, the A's on the road, they do what they do. Walk, single, walk, they get a run. It's 1-0. Then in the 5th inning, a single to Claudel Washington, an RBI double by Sal Bando. It's 2-0. Bottom of the inning, with a 2-0 lead and runners on the corners, they left the infield back and they get a run on the ground ball. Some teams would bring the infield up. Some teams with a 2-0 lead decide, nah, I'd rather play back for the double play. Oakland played back. It's 2-1. Then in the bottom of the 6th, this is where the game changed. Bill Freehan, solo homer off of Torres. It's tied at 2. And then, you know him by now, folks. Tom Verizur. He is Verizur, or he's Tom Verizur. Another solo shot. It's 3-2 Tigers. It's going to be a battle of bullpens, or at least one bullpen to complete this game. Gentry goes 6 1/3, 7 hits, 2 runs, did walk 5, struck out 3. They used Bob Veal for an inning, Oscar Zamora for an inning. After getting an out in the 9th, they turned it over to John Hiller to get the final 2 outs. He strikes out Claudel Washington and gets Joe Rudy to fly out to left. And indeed, the Detroit Tigers hang on to get a win over Oakland. This is the type of game that Oakland normally comes back and wins. Or Detroit, but not this year so far. Detroit, a 3-2 victor in Game 3. Can they end this series in Game 4? Game 4, Dave Hamilton was in the bullpen a year ago. Now he's the number 4 starter. Interesting that he's got a very imbalanced card, dominates lefties, not that great against righties, which is better for a reliever than a starter. Tigers put lefty McAuliffe on the bench, lefty Norm Cash on the bench, lefty Jim Northrup on the bench. Bottom of the 1st, after a LaFleur strikeout, it's single, walk, single, pass ball, foul out, single. And the Tigers get 5 runs. Just like they did to Catfish Hunter in Game 1, they do it to Dave Hamilton in Game 4. It's a 5-1 game. The Tiger starter is Dave Lemanchek. He's a relief 4, starter 8. He's the number 4 starter. They're going to watch him carefully. Again, Gentry and Lemanchek are not the normal caliber pitchers that Detroit's had in previous years in their World Series quests. So we'll see how this plays out this year. It's a 5-1 game through 6. Lemanchek's done very well. He's got some righties coming up. He's better against righties. He gives up a single to Gene Tennis. He walks Rusty Torres, and then Dick Green hits a 2-run triple, and then it's like, okay, enough of that. So Oakland starts a comeback, cuts a 5-1 lead to 5-3. Oscar Zamora comes in with a big old can of kerosene, a single to Joe Rudy, a single to Reggie. And yep, it's a Sal Bando 3-run homer, 6-run 7th inning for the A's, doing what Oakland would have done a year ago. A 5-1 deficit is now a 7-5 lead. But then the bottom of the 7th. Normally reliable Bob Locker comes in the bottom of the 7th. The Tigers have put all their defense in, so they don't have the best matchups. It doesn't matter. Bryzer reaches on an error. K-Line doesn't hit righties very well anymore. He walks. Willie Horton finds a walk on his card. 3 runners reach without the aid of a hit. And Jim Northrup, who started the game on the bench, brought in for defense when they had the lead. Bob Locker's normally good against lefties. Not at this moment. Jim Northrup on his own card, 2-5, triple one or whatever, gets a base-clearing 3-run triple, and suddenly a 7-5 game turns into an 8-7 game. Northrup would score on a Dave Chalk sac fly. It's 9-7. Oscar Zamora is brought in on the pitch the 8th. John Hiller is asked to get a 5-out save. He gives up a triple to Duffy Dyer, but was stranded after a Campanera strikeout. And then with a 2-run lead of the 9th, John Hiller strikes out Claudell Washington, Joe Rudy, and Reggie Jackson does not hit a 500-foot home run. No, he strikes out to end the game. Ladies and gentlemen, your Detroit Tigers, they took care of the big bad Oakland A's 3-1. And the 2025 season opens with an upset, a considerable upset that could have create some openings in the American League. Suddenly the World Series window, maybe Oakland isn't as good as we think they are. Maybe this is good news for the Boston Red Sox, who look really good. The Chicago White Sox look really great. You still have Baltimore and New York lurking in the East. Kansas City and George Brett, they have a nice team. There's still some teams out there that can break through the Oakland door that has been opened up. Break up your Detroit Tigers. They defeat Oakland 3-1. Thanks for checking out this opening day. We'll see you next time.